Another thing that holds people back is something called interpretations. It's the meaning that you put to things. Oh, he looked at me the wrong way. I don't think he likes me. Oh, I saw that. I saw what he did. He was talking behind my back. Instead of just saying to someone, if you're not clear as to what they meant, just ask them, excuse me, what do you mean by that? That's all you need to do, and find out what's in that person's head instead of putting your own meaning to it. And then the last thing is what I call the gremlins, or the little voice in your head that says you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, don't do that. The little cynic inside your head that talks to you. Those are the things that create the energies. Those are the things that create the catabolic states that people are in. So let's talk about selling. What is selling? What's that word? Does anybody know? Anybody? What does selling mean?
Nurturing the buy.
Nurturing what?
Nurturing the buy.
Nurturing the buy. Actually, you know, selling comes from the Greek, which means to serve. And I heard a really good definition of selling. Selling is the ability to convert an interested customer into an opportunity to serve, help, or enhance another's life by offering expertise and talent in the form of products and services, in the form of payment, in exchange for payment. How do you like that definition? Right? It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to serve. It's an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to show your expertise. To make it short, it's about helping people make decisions that will better their lives. Level 4 energy. Hopefully, as we go through these things, you could start to see the different levels of where we're at. The difference between level 1 and level 2 energy, and as we go up to the higher levels of energy. And that's what it's about. So what are some of the qualities that these top salespeople have? Well, one of them is called desire. You can't teach desire. You can't teach desire. That's why a lot of companies, what they do is they spend so much money training their employees on new skills and new learning, and all they get at the end is if they have a negative judgmental person and they put them through training, at the end of training, they have a negative judgmental person with a new set of skills. And nothing changes. And nothing changes. So desire can't be taught. I was watching Sunday Morning, and they had Pete Rose on. And, you know, whatever the, you know, his thing is, it doesn't really matter. But what he said was, he said, I know no one's going to beat my record. There may be people more talented than me, but no one's going to beat my record because nobody wanted it as bad as I wanted it. That's what he said. He said, no one wanted it as bad as I wanted it. And that's why he achieved the things that he achieved, because he had that burning desire. See, people want to know why you do what you do, not what you do. If you ever get the opportunity to go on YouTube, there's a TED Talk with Simon Sinek, and he talks about the golden circle. And it's about the why. Tell people why you do what you do. He uses Apple as an example. And he says that Apple's why is to change the status quo. That's why they do what they do, to change the status quo. And how they do it is through their iPads and iPhones and all these other things, and what they are as a technology company. That's the last thing that you should tell people, not the first thing. So you want to have that burning why inside. You want to have something that's bigger than yourself. You want to create something bigger, because you'll never create a business that's not bigger than your vision. So if you want to create a business that's going to take care of your family, you have to envision a business that will take care of your community. If you want to have a business that's going to take care of your community, you have to have a vision of a business that's going to take care of your city. If you want to have a business that takes care of your city, you have to have a vision of a business that's going to take care of your state. You see, you could never manifest anything greater than your vision. That's why it's important. That's why it's important. So that's the first quality, is desire. The second quality is passion. Is passion. Do you love what you're doing? If you don't love what you're doing, then I would suggest that you do something else. Life is way too short to be doing something that you don't love doing. That's my advice to you. If you don't love what you're doing. Do you know what the word passion means? Does anyone know what the word passion means? The word passion means to suffer. It means to suffer. Because when you love something so much, you will do whatever it takes, because you love it so much. And you're willing to do it every single day, regardless of what the weather is outside, regardless of what the conditions are. You're willing to do that. Have you seen the Papa John commercial with Papa John and Peyton Manning? And Peyton Manning says to Papa John, "What's it feel like, making these pizzas all day long?" And Papa John says to him, "What does it feel like throwing touchdown passes every Sunday?" See, we all have our own passion. We all have our own passion. So you want to have passion. The next quality is commitment. How committed are you? You know what commitment is? Commitment is doing the things you said you were going to do when you're not in the same frame of mind you were when you said you were going to do them. How many have gone to a seminar and everybody's jumping up, rah, 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 rah? I used to consult chiropractors. I worked for a chiropractic consulting company. And guys would come back from the seminar, and all of a sudden, Monday morning, they would have 4 new patients, and they were all excited. And then 2 weeks later, they were back to where they were. What happened to that commitment? All that is just a little boost, a little temporary boost, and then we go back to our default level. So you want to be committed. How committed are you? Because this is the time. Your business is serious. If you want to really achieve, because every level you develop this, what they call comfort zone. And I don't really like to call it a comfort zone. I like to call it a familiar zone. Because there's nothing comfortable about it. There's nothing comfortable about struggling to pay your bills. There's nothing comfortable about that. It's not comfortable looking to see where your next paycheck is coming from. It's not comfortable. It's familiar, but it's not comfortable. So what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Are you going to learn the things that these top achievers learn? Because if you do, and when you do, and you show up that way, guess what? You're going to get the same result. Has to happen every single time. That's a law. That's a law. So, commitment. Number 2, you have to have a good work ethic. You have to have a good work ethic. You got to be willing to work hard. I remember I was talking to my brother-in-law the other day, and he retired as a vice president of a bank. And when he first started his career, he was an insurance salesman. And he said to his boss, he said, "You know what? I've been making phone calls. I'm just not getting any sales. I don't know what's going on." And his boss said to him, "Lou, I know your problem." He says, "You're in a rut. That's your problem. You're in a rut." He says, "Come with me." So Lou went with him, got in his car. They drove 5 miles down the road from the office. Lou gets out of the car. He hands Lou an umbrella because it was raining. He said, "What I want you to do is I want you to knock on every door from here back to the office." Lou gets back to the office. He's soaking wet. He ended up with 5 appointments, ended up making 2 sales. He said, "I learned 2 things that day." He said, number 1, he said, if I'm in a rut, the best way to get out of a rut is to work your way out of it. He said, and number 2, if my boss ever asks me to go out with him again, I'm going to make sure I take my own car.